Swahili, also known as Kiswahili, is a Bantu language spoken by approximately 100 million people in East Africa and the Democratic Republic of Congo. It is the national language of Tanzania and Kenya and is also spoken in Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Mozambique, and the Comoros Islands. There are many compelling reasons why Swahili should be considered the language of all Africans. One of the most important reasons is that it is already a widely spoken language in Africa. With over 100 million speakers, it is the most spoken language on the continent, and it is spoken by people of many different ethnicities and nationalities. Swahili is the most widely spoken African language in terms of the number of countries in which it is spoken. In addition to being spoken in East Africa, it is also spoken in the Democratic Republic of Congo, where it is used as a lingua franca in the capital city, Kinshasa. Another reason why Swahili should be the language for all Africans is that it is a language of unity and cultural exchange. It has a rich history of being used as a lingua franca in East Africa, and it has played a vital role in facilitating trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchange between different groups on the continent. This has helped to foster a sense of unity and belonging among people who speak Swahili and has contributed to the development of a shared African identity. One example of how Swahili has facilitated cultural exchange is the Swahili Coast, a region that stretches along the Indian Ocean from modern-day Somalia to Mozambique. The Swahili Coast has a long history of trade and cultural exchange, and Swahili has played a central role in this process. It has been used as a common language by merchants, traders, and travelers from different parts of Africa and the Middle East, and it has helped to bring people of different cultures and backgrounds together. Swahili is also a very expressive language, with a rich vocabulary and a sophisticated grammatical structure. It is a language that is well suited to the expression of a wide range of emotions and ideas, and it is capable of conveying complex concepts with great precision and clarity. This makes it an ideal language for scholars, writers, and intellectuals, and it has played a vital role in the development of African literature and scholarship. Prominent figures in African literature who wrote in Swahili include Shaban Robert, a Tanzanian poet and writer who was one of the pioneers of modern Swahili literature, and Okot Pibitek, a Ugandan poet and writer who is best known for his epic poem Song of Lawino, which is written in both Swahili and Ekoli. Other notable figures in African literature who wrote in Swahili include Yusuf Hassan Abdullah, a Kenyan poet and writer, and Abdulrazak Gurna, a Tanzanian novelist and scholar. Another advantage of Swahili is that it is relatively easy to learn, especially for speakers of other Bantu languages. Its vocabulary and grammar are similar to those of many other African languages, and it is a relatively phonetically regular language, which makes it easier for learners to pronounce correctly. This makes it a practical choice for anyone who is interested in learning an African language, and it is an excellent choice for people who want to learn a language that will be useful in a variety of different settings. Swahili is also a language that is well suited to the modern world. It is widely used on the internet, and it is taught in schools and universities around the world. This means that people who speak Swahili are able to communicate with a global audience and are able to access a wealth of information and resources that are available online. For example, Swahili is one of the main languages used on Wikipedia's African Language Edition, and there are many websites and social media platforms that cater specifically to Swahili speakers. In addition to being used in literature and education, Swahili is also an important language in business and politics. Many international companies and organizations have offices in East Africa, and Swahili is often used as a common language in these settings. For example, the African Development Bank, a regional development bank that is based in Abidjan, Côte d'Ivoire, has a Swahili language unit that is responsible for the translation of documents and the provision of interpretation services. Swahili is also an official language of the African Union, a regional organization that represents the interests of African countries on the global stage. The African Union's official working languages are Arabic, English, French, Portuguese, and Swahili is used as a means of communication between member states. This shows the importance of Swahili in regional and international relations and underscores the need for a common African language that can facilitate communication and cooperation. There are many compelling reasons why Swahili should be considered the language for all Africans. It is already a widely spoken language on the continent, it is a language of unity and cultural exchange, it is expressive, it is relatively easy to learn, and it is well suited to the modern world. These are all important considerations that make Swahili an excellent choice for anyone who is interested in learning an African language. Whether you are a scholar, a businessperson, or a diplomat, learning Swahili can open up many doors and provide you with valuable skills and opportunities.